as Cub Scout Pack number 3731 from Warsaw presents our colors while Miss Amy Marshall sings our national anthem. Well, at this time, it's my pleasure to present the 2014 Kosciuszko County Relay for Life event chairperson and our own survivor hero, Mrs. Deb Fitzsimmons.
Thank you, Chris. I know it's kind of wet out here, and like you said, it's going to stop. So I'm going to quote Jay.
Don't keep me.
I'm going to quote Jay Moorhead. He told me earlier, he said, cancer doesn't stop for the rain, and we're not going to stop either. Got it? Everybody? Okay, good. Thank you all for being here today to help finish the fight against cancer. It is great to see all of our purple shirts with jackets over them because it's kind of chilly out here. But that's okay. And everyone else that's here this afternoon. Warsaw at the Kosciuszko County Fairgrounds doing what relayers do around the world, including 5,000 communities across America and 19 other countries in the world. By walking this track over the next 18 hours, we are joining with over 4 million people worldwide who want to save lives by supporting the American Cancer Society. While each of us has our own personal story about why we are here, we all have one thing much in common. We want to save lives, create a world with more birthdays where cancer never steals another year from any person. We have gathered together as a community, determined that no person who is facing cancer will be without support, and that no person who has lost their battle will ever be forgotten. We come together determined that we will continue to fight so that every person in Kosciuszko County will be celebrating more birthdays. We have come together determined to bring hope for a cancer-free tomorrow. Whether you are a survivor or currently battling cancer or currently a caregiver or have provided care to someone we have lost, whether you're a team captain, a team member, a volunteer, or you just came to see what Relay was all about, you have the role in this fight, and many people need you.
It's not fair that there's not a podium here for people that are nervous to hold on to and that you can't see me shaking, so I just want to recommend that for next year maybe. First of all, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to share my story. I'm very honored and humbled, and I just want to thank you. My story begins back in 2009. I noticed some swollen lymph nodes, and I was very healthy and active, and so I didn't think too much about it. Doctor ran some blood tests, not a big deal, everything looked fine, just continued to go on with my life. 2010, those lymph nodes were still there, and so basically, you know, I worked in the ER. Did I pick up a bug? I went to Haiti. Did I pick up a bug? You know, we were trying to give all these excuses of why I had these swollen lymph nodes. And so finally we decided, you know what, let's just take them out. We're going to rule out cancer and decide that that's not it, and we'll go on to the next thing on the list, an autoimmune disorder or whatever. So we took out the lymph nodes and went to that follow-up appointment, just, you know, to hear that it was a cancer and to move on. Basically, that day I was... Can't look at my mom when I'm talking. Basically, I was diagnosed with not breast cancer, but lymphoma. And later then found out, which I'll get to, but was stage 4 lymphoma. So that was quite a blow to a 35-year-old healthy wife, mom, active kind of person. So went home that day. And really remember that day. So I'm sure some of you survivors that are out there remember the day that you were diagnosed or your loved one was or if your caregiver was diagnosed. And I went home and I'm like, man, this doesn't make any sense. You know, I eat right, I exercise, I'm healthy. You know, what's going on? And so I started to say why. And as soon as I said why, for me as a person of faith, I heard my God say, I haven't abandoned you. And I was like, wow, okay. So I decided at that point that I had a choice to make. I could choose to, curse cancer and have a pity party and be upset, or I could choose to have hope and choose life and to move forward in a different direction. So I decided that day I made a decision that I was going to move forward with hope and choose life. And continued on with, I had to get to the staging process. I went down, my doctor, who is Dr. Gotskell, recommended a second opinion down in Indianapolis, just because that's what you're supposed to do. So I did, and I do want to say one thing about our cancer care center here, day and night, compared to the experience that I had in Indianapolis. I really felt at home here at KCH, and like everybody just was family, and so it was a really awesome experience just to be able to have that contrast. And I can't say enough about our cancer center that we have here. It was just really an awesome experience. But through bone marrow testing and different things like that, was staged at that stage 4, which meant I had to undergo immediate treatment because the lymph nodes were continuing to swell. I had a tumor in my abdomen that was causing some issue with breathing and different things like that. So immediate treatment began for me, but the physical part of it was only part of it. There was also that I had to learn to deal with the fears and then the anxieties. Different anxiety than getting up here and speaking in front of people. I think that probably a lot of you that are survivors can relate to, am I going to die? Am I going to see my daughter graduate this year? You go through a lot of emotions, and it's a lot to deal with. So that was also part of that fight that I wanted to do. So I learned, and had a lot of growth there during that process. Went through the first 6 months of treatment. My treatment was then also another 2 years of chemo. So I got the pleasure of going through 24 different chemo treatments over the next 2.5 years. And so I was on one side of it as an ER nurse and helping people treat some of those issues, to now, during that 3-year process, was able to learn and grow and learn about how I could help people on the prevention side. So that's been really awesome. Also, a little bit more to my story is a week after I was diagnosed, my stepdad was diagnosed with cancer. So I was just had the privilege of walking through that with him. And I know a lot of times people hear my story of hope and, hey, it's so great, you're a survivor. But I also got to experience the loss of him within the next 8 to 9 months. And so, I've been on both sides, and so I can definitely feel for those caregivers as well. But it is an awesome and amazing experience to be able to walk alongside someone that has lost their life to cancer as well, and just to be there and support them. So basically, I had the treatment and am considered cancer free at this point. So that's pretty cool. But I would like to just recognize, give you a challenge for your perspective. I know a lot of times people can just really get down about cancer, and I know, and it's hard. But we all have a choice, whether it's cancer that we're battling or anything else, that we have a choice to have a different perspective. And I know that I'm very grateful that something that was meant for evil, God turned into good. And so I am ever thankful. I see that having cancer was a privilege and a blessing in my life. It gave me a different perspective. It gave me more time with my family, and it's given me a voice. Somehow, because I had cancer, people want to listen to me, And so I think that's awesome, because then I get to share that hope with other people. And so I just want to share that hope with you and just be an encouragement to keep fighting and to keep walking today in honor of those that we've lost, and those that are fighting right now, and those are survivors. So